Hey Scorpios, how are you guys doing? I hope you had an amazing July. This reading is for all the Scorpios for August 2017. Really quickly, just wanted to let you guys know that Mercury is going retrograde on the 13th, so just be cognizant of your communications. Don't make any large purchases because you absolutely will regret it, especially if it's technology related. What I'm doing right now, because I had such an amazing time with providing the Jupiter information. What I'm going to do now is if you post your birth day, time, and location in the comments, I will let you know where Mercury retrograde is affecting you this month. So, where you need to really be cognizant of what you're saying and how you're communicating. And I'll also let you know where the sun is hitting your chart, and where the sun hits your chart is where the spotlight is. So, it's really where you want to put a lot more attention and focus, or where if you've been kind of pushing yourself away from it, where you should just embrace it and let it in. So, like I said, comment with your birth time and location. Um, and I'll let you know. Or you can email me at beyondyoursunsign@gmail.com. I'm also offering life purpose reports right now. So that uses astrology, numerology, and tarot videos to kind of unlock your hidden motivators. It really shows you what you're here to accomplish, and it really just makes things so much more easier because you have these ideas and you have these plans, right? And you go and you seek approval of someone. Well, I personally do, maybe not so much a Scorpio, but you feel like you need to kind of go and seek approval from people, but you won't have that resolve if you know what your path is. If for instance, I know in my chart it says I'd make an amazing astrologer, so I don't need to go and seek other people's approval because I'm validated through astrology and numerology and tarot. So it's really an excellent way to just remind yourself of who you are and just walk that path with confidence, right? Because it's an incredible, all three are incredible tools. That being said, I'm going to get started for the Scorpio August 2017 reading. And a card just popped out, and it's all about feeling balanced and secure, but not feeling like you can take that forward step. Like feeling like if you do move and make a change or make an adjustment or take a risk, everything could come falling down. The new moon that just passed on the 23rd was all about forward action. It was all about being courageous and having pride when you take your efforts to the mainstream. Leo is all about confidence, courageous action. It's a fire sign. It's also a fixed fire sign. So although it may feel like you want to take that action because it is a fixed sign, you are still more resolved and more slow and steady. So if that new moon put you on your backside like it did me, that means that you weren't outlitting that energy properly. So I noticed for a lot of people, instead of using that full or that Leo new moon energy for forward action, they were actually just arguing a lot of explosive energy, a lot of fights, and a lot of kind of that dynamic power struggle essentially. Because a lot of the times the Leo new moon asks us for attention, and it also shows us where we're searching for attention in our lives. So that being said, if you guys were having a brutal new moon in Leo, like I definitely was, I couldn't stop with the fighting and the arguments. It really is a time to take that leap of faith, okay? And if that means that you have to stop something, if that means that you need to stop something in order to make space for that, then that's on you. This is a numerology 1 year. It is all about new beginnings. So anything that you are stopping right now will be almost instantly replaced. So it's really about making that space, right? And saying, listen, like I want this new beginning to happen, but right now this is taking a lot of my time. This is taking a lot of my energy. Those things need to be put on standstill or on the back burner or completely forgotten about altogether in order for you to have the space in your life and the energy and the space in your heart especially to make the room for what you really want to be manifesting this year with the numerology 1 year. Okay, so I think I talked enough. Scorpio, August 2017. Okay, Scorpio, August 2017. So let's see what's going on with the Scorps this month. Okay. So a new emotion came in, really focused on that emotion because you had to move on from something. So a change happened in July that you realized that you really have to move on from. However, it did bring in a new emotion. You're spending a lot of time alone before because of this heartbreak, not really focused on building up what you want to build up, especially when it comes to your family and that new beginning that we were talking about. But that change was all for the good. Yeah, it really brought out a whole whack of emotions. It created this ripple effect. So not only was it bringing up emotions within yourself, but also the people around you were really emoting from this change. But you knew that you had to move on. You knew that you were too focused on the lack, too focused on what you didn't have, the grass being greener on the other side. Those spilt emotions. When I say spilt emotions, I mean those low level emotions. So greed, jealousy, envy, anger, resentment, bitter, all those low level emotions were the main focus before this change. And although it upset a lot of people, it kind of needed to be happen because now you can spend that alone time that you need to kind of soul search on the pain that's been manifesting and harnessed in your heart for so long. And because of that pain, a lot of what you've been creating has been from those low vibe places. So now you're realizing, listen, I need to start building for myself. If I want to get to this happy place, I need to start focusing on what I'm building and who I'm building it with. And you're realizing that that change in the long run, even though a lot of people were giving you a hard time for it, and your emotions were going crazy over it, in the long run, that change was absolutely for the best, as it always is. I love changes. Even though changes sometimes may be scary, at the end of the day, when you look back, you're like, oh my God, that change needed to happen. You know, I'm even at the point right now where I'm realizing that a change that happened like decades ago, that wasn't even my change, has now created such a ripple effect where I'm starting to benefit from the change that somebody was terrified to make. And I'm benefiting it in a huge, huge way. And the person who was terrified to make that change is now starting to see a decade later. It was such a good thing for that change because I'm able to share in this bounty with the people that I care about. That being said, right now what's going on in August for Scorpios is that change, like I said, you do feel like you had to take away, and it's all in your mind, it's all just your thoughts, even just hiding something from someone that you care about. You feel like you had to take that change, you had to really force it, you had to take that change, take that sense of freedom. And because it affected so many people around you, you're feeling really guilty about it. You're feeling like, well, I made that change pretty selfishly. This is a really, really selfish energetic year right now. People are really more self-centered. But with the Scorpio, you guys are all about shared resources. So other people's resources, things like that, inheritance, stuff like that. So there can be a certain level of guilt with taking from people who have benefited on you, like you're benefiting on their behalf. There is some guilt there because you feel like maybe it wasn't fair involving everybody involved. Okay, but the thing is you've created this opportunity for yourself. And although you are focused on the fact that maybe it wasn't fair for other people, they didn't put in the work. They weren't willing to make that sacrifice. They weren't willing to kind of lose that power or gain that power or demand that power in this situation. So at the end of the day, recognize that what you built created this change, and it's also helping with the maintenance of this change. Okay, so there's no point of stressing over who you hurt or who wasn't able to benefit from this forced effort on your part. At the end of the day, they will either come with you and rise up, or they'll be dropped by the wayside. And if this change was ultimately for the better, and you're able to walk away with your power, and you're able to make that adjustment that is actually going to empower you in the long run, everybody will come around. It's like I said, sometimes it's like a decade later where you're like, oh, I'm so glad I made that imposed change on my family, on my friends, on the people that I care about, because we needed it. Subconsciously, you are really focused on what you've built so far, and that power struggle. Once again, Scorpios rule power and control. So if you're feeling that this has been more focused on that low level vibration of just power and control, definitely time to take a second look at that and see how you can transmute that into love, right? Transmute that power into something that stems back. Like if you can dig deeper into that control aspect, into that power aspect, and see where the love is, you know? Dig deep for the love, you'll find it, and then that'll just kind of give you that sense of peace where it's like, yeah, this change hurt so many people and it wasn't fair and yada, yada, yada. But when I really dig deep, it was for the love that I could provide my family, and I'm doing it of love, or I'm doing it for self love. If you can find the love in this situation, it'll clear your conscience. You're thinking that this union, this relationship, this partnership, this marriage is what was really affected. Your home and family was really affected by this forced change. Um, but at the end of the day, the fairness, the balance was there. This is the card about the immediate past, something that is either presently happening or just happened. And this is all about fairness, especially in partnership. It's almost like an inspired fairness, um, it inspired people to step up. You kind of illuminated a path, another way of doing things, right? This change, especially in 2017, the year of new beginnings, this change would terrify other people in your position. They'd be like, I don't know if I want to take that route. And you really illuminated the opportunities for other people in your life. You're like, listen, it doesn't have to be like this. You don't have to be stuck where you are. You can force yourself to change, even though you're a fixed sign. You really did illuminate the path for a lot of other people. So kudos. Yes, you are moving on with your power. Absolutely the best thing to do. If you are still feeling like maybe I shouldn't have rushed so quickly, at the end of the day, come this full moon, you'll be able to release a lot of those pent up emotions and low level emotions when it comes to it. And you'll start to realize, like, yeah, I walked away, but I'm way more powerful because of it. I am way more in control now because of it. So keep on that path. Family and friends, yeah, they're like, what are you doing? They're like, you are just on like a power juggling right now. When I say power, it could absolutely mean financial power, spiritual power, emotional power. So manipulating is a form of emotional power when you really stop to think of it, because you're able to kind of control that person into seeing your way of things, which is a form of power abuse. So your family and friends are really seeing that juggle, especially in your relationships. So just make them know that, listen, like, this is a really wishy-washy time right now, but I am getting my stability, I am getting my focus, I am buckling down now and starting to really see what I can create, what I can manifest. And yeah, it may seem like I'm dangling in the air right now without any steady focus, but if you explain to your family that you do have a plan and you do feel confident with the plan that you're on, eventually they will hop on board. Of course, everybody wants to see family and friends succeed. The thing is, this is really, when this card comes up in this spot, it is just so fascinating to me, because this card is the manifestation card. It's pretty much saying, as above, so below. What you think, you create. It's the magician literally saying, I'm pulling from the heavens, I'm pulling from the sky whatever I want, and I'm going to physically manifest it into my world. However, Scorpio, this was in your hope and fear section. So it's like you hope that you can be creating something incredible, but you fear your power. You fear what you can create. Own it. Own the power. I was just talking to someone who's heavily influenced by their Venus and Scorpio, and they were saying that they literally picked up a stick to try and manifest this person back into their lives, and yeah, they did, but then they felt guilty because they're like, is she here out of her own resolve? Is she here out of her own free will, or did I manifest it? Just like hypnosis, people are only open to suggestions. They have to be willing to do it no matter what. So if you are manifesting something on somebody's behalf, whether it's a love relationship, whether it's an employer, whether it's something where you want to manifest this change in this person to see things differently, recognize that they can only receive suggestions. They're not going to do anything that their soul doesn't actually want to do. So if they are coming to you based on something that you've manifested for them, recognize that, yeah, it's all good. There's no guilt to be had. The outcome card is that you are definitely gaining a lot of authority. with home and family. You're really, really building yourself up right now, Scorpio, and family is really starting to see that and they're celebrating that. However, of course, with all of this new responsibility and with all of this new changes, it will definitely feel like a pain in the ass trying to adjust to these changes and these new beginnings. That's just really like I haven't really been able to get grounded all year. It's just the energy of the year, especially if you're in a 1 or 5 personal year, which comment below and I can let you know for sure. But because of the chaotic energy, it's going to be like you just want people to go away for like a minute so that you can collect your bearings, right? So really just notice and recognize that if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling like this change has been incredible and you're incredibly empowered at home, but now you're expected so much more, right? You're expected that people expect more from you. Recognize that it's actually quite the blessing in disguise because at the end of all of this, when it's all said and done, this is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful change. And it really only is your thoughts in the matter that is changing this, that is making this change seem unbearable and seem like a burden and seem like a pain in the ass because it's really going to be an incredible one when it's all said and done. Okay, I think that is all that I have for you guys. I hope that you survived the Mercury retrograde. I personally can't stand Mercury retrograde. I get hit hard because I test it. I'll buy a printer during Mercury retrograde and be like, why isn't this working? So just be cognizant that the energies are shifting as they've been shifting, and try and flow with it as much as you can. That's my advice to you, Scorpios. I hope you have an amazing, amazing August. I will see you guys in September for those peaks, those numerology personal year peaks. This is when the energy of the year is going to be at its highest. Like, expect something new coming in. And like I said, post your birth details, ask me about numerology. I can let you know what to expect come September, okay? Either a new beginning, either a new partnership, either a new creative project, either a new obstacle, either a new change, either a new responsibility at home, either a new reason to isolate yourself, new money, or new power loss, new ending. So let me know and I will let you guys know. Love you, Scorpios. I will see you in September. Bye bye.